I would like to discuss about what is AWS Lambda. So basically, if you are observing, if you are asking me like what is AWS Lambda, it is a serverless computing service. So provided by Amazon Web Services. So it allows you. So what exactly it means is, what do you mean by serverless architecture? Nowadays, everybody is migrating their application design from I mean they are moving to like what serverless serverless architecture itself. Okay, so that means without provisioning the server, without managing the server, we are able to like what run our applications. As a developer, we are only focusing on our application development, backend code development itself. So that means ultimately my point is very clear. It allows you to run your code without provisioning or managing servers. So but with Lambda you can execute, with AWS Lambda or any other services. With Lambda you can execute your code in response to events or triggers. So something like that, it supports a wide range of programming. Lambda is supporting a wide range of programming languages, not only Java. So it supports to Python, it supports to Node.js, it might support some other language also. That means we can write your code in one of these languages, and ultimately we can package it as a Lambda function and upload it to AWS Lambda itself. So whenever you upload your entire code as a Lambda function, whenever you upload, the service takes care of automatically scaling your code and running it on a highly available infrastructure itself. So and more advantage is something like there is no ideal capacity. I mean, we can only pay for the compute time which we can consume by the code itself. We don't need to worry about the server management and all this stuff. Okay, so that is what you need to understand about this AWS Lambda itself. Okay, so yeah, so so ultimately here we are trying to like what I mean we are trying to like what prepare the entire code, I mean as a Lambda function itself. Okay, so if you are watching my previous video, I tried to like what implement one application also, I mean using Spring Cloud function. So Spring Cloud function is also a framework within this particular Spring ecosystem, where it allows you to build and deploy serverless applications only. So using Spring Boot and the Spring Cloud itself. So that means what, it provides a programming model for writing functions as Spring Beans and running them in serverless environments such as AWS Lambda, Azure Functions, or GCP, any Google Cloud Functions, anything itself. So so now what I am doing, already I have a Spring, we have a basic awareness of Spring Cloud function, and again one more Spring Cloud function project I will try to create, and I'll try to like what make them as an AWS Lambda function, and this stuff I would like to like what show you. I wanted to like what upload in the AWS Lambda, and then I will show you how exactly we can run it, we can make it run so without as a serverless architecture. Okay, so and if you are observing, a Spring Boot is fine. Benefits of, I have already told you, benefits of integrating AWS Lambda with Spring Boot is something like several benefits. It enables a faster development. Okay, by leveraging the simplicity and productivity of Spring Boot, you can build services, serverless applications with auto scaling, high availability, and fault tolerance. All these are the advantages when you are integrating your AWS Lambda with Spring Boot. And as I mentioned, like it also allows seamless integration with other AWS services, such as we have seen already S3 bucket, DynamoDB. Whenever the making changes, when the function is getting executed, all those changes will be detected by this particular AWS Lambda, and accordingly end user will get the proper response itself. Okay, so by combining the power of Lambda and Spring Boot, you can achieve highly scalable and reliable applications itself. Okay, so anyhow, challenges is something like numerous benefits, also presents some challenges like cold start latency can impact the performance of serverless application. Proper function design and resource management are crucial for optimizing the performance and cost efficiency also. Okay, so Yeah, these are, the basic. I mean, definitely for any concept, we have some challenges are there. Definitely we have to overcome those to get the benefits. So this is the basic introduction about the Spring, AWS, AWS Lambda itself, and the integration also part. So now I wanted to show you that Spring Cloud function along with the AWS Lambda with respect to hands-on itself. Okay, I hope you got the clarity. So now what I'll do is, let me come back to this. If you are observing my last project, yes, in the Spring Cloud function, here we are defining a function. Let me close this and then I will show you. Let me clear. See here, my function name is reverse. Okay, and this function I am not I'm not preparing, like, whatever the function, whatever the method you define, this I am trying to expose as an endpoint, rest endpoint itself. So here I am not using any get mapping or post mapping, something like that. Okay, so here a method name is reverse, the return type is function, which is a functional interface, and this particular method must be annotated with @bean. Since function is a functional interface, this I can replace the body with the lambda expression like this. Okay, so here when you are passing some input, since function is accepting something and returning something, so when you are passing some input and based on the requirement I am reversing this itself. So to run this application, we have to like what add the proper dependencies. We have to like what add the proper dependencies. And now what I have to do is only one function I defined here. Let me try to like what run this. If I run this application, run as Spring Boot app. Okay, so by default it got started in the 8080 port number. As I said, we without server, so to run locally, it is automatically taking the help of Spring web, and we are not maintaining this, we no need to like what organize or managing the server. Okay, that internally it will take care. Serverless means what? Definitely it's supposed to run in the server only, but what as a developer we are not focusing on that particular server provisioning and then server management. Only our focus is to write the logic, that's it. So it will take care. So when I run this application, it is internally it will take the help of embedded Tomcat server, and it is running on the 8080 port number itself. So if you really want to cross check whether it is really running or not locally, what you have to do is, where exactly this application is available, in the Spring Cloud function demo, here, from here come to here and then open the command prompt, and we have some syntax is there. From that syntax, Spring Cloud function official documentation, reference documentation, from here you can take this, and that curl URL is there. Okay, this one. Okay, let me copy this, come back to here. Okay, curl -h content type localhost 8080 slash. Here you can give your method name only here, method name only as a rest endpoint URL. For example, here if I am using Java Jungle as my input, if I try to run this, yeah, it is just trying to like what reverse itself. So in this way you can make it run, and then you can cross check whether it is working or not. Yeah, perfectly it is working. And now what I wanted to do is, you can define as many beans as you want based on the requirement. And now what I wanted to do is, just a wait. Yeah, just wait please. I'll try to like what prepare some more applications. Otherwise, I'll try to like what create the separate application. Okay, for that, file, new. Okay, Spring Starter project. Okay, here com.example and everything. Spring Boot AWS Lambda is my artifact ID and the name of the project also. Maven Java version 8 and everything is fine. Here I'm not adding any dependencies. If you want, you can add any other dependencies, because few dependencies I supposed to add manually. That is the reason without adding the dependencies I tried to create the application. So previous application, just close this, and once Spring Boot AWS Lambda is ready, now what I wanted to do is, once it is ready, okay, just open the pom.xml file. just open the pom.xml file here. From the parent, okay, just try to like what remove this. Okay, come back to here. Already I have prepared yeah, 1 second. Yep. Okay, from here I am just copying this. All these are the required dependencies and plugins which you need to work with the AWS Lambda itself. So that's why I am just pasting all these here. Let me save this. Okay, once it is ready, I can go ahead with the application design. I mean the implementation part itself. Okay, let me. Okay, let me once it is ready, let me clear this. Yeah, let me clear this. Okay, some error is coming, not a problem. Try to update the project. Maven update the project, force update, click on the OK. Yeah, yeah, it's done. Go to src main java. Okay, new package com dot example dot, okay, repository com dot example dot repository. Okay, com dot example dot repository. And inside this first of all, inside this particular, and moreover we need a model or entity also we required. For that also I am trying to like what prepare com dot example dot entity. Let me define this model or entity, anything is fine. So what entity we required here, for example, let me define this class. Anything you can use, for example student or employee you can use. Okay, you can use employee here. Click on the finish. As I added here private int id, private string name. Okay, please try to observe each and every point. Private double emp sal, like this, or else salary, private double salary itself. Let me save this. And here try to like what annotate. Since I added the lombok, I think in the pom.xml file there is a lombok related dependency is also there, I guess. Where is the lombok related? Okay, it was not there, huh? Yeah, it was there, lombok. You may ask one question, version. Sometimes version issues are coming, that is why explicitly I am adding the version for this. Since I am adding this, what I have to do is come to like what employee.java, add the required annotations at the rate of data, at the rate of all r constructor, at the rate of no r constructor. Let me save this. Yeah, once it is done, once it is done, once the domain is ready, now go to the I mean your repository itself. Okay, your repository itself. In the repository, let me define the class employee repository. I am not taking any help of string data JPA, actual database stuff. I am just trying to like what maintain the normal static data itself. So for that, public list of employee, public list of employee. Okay, get employees. Simply I am just defining the method. Control shift y is for importing java.util.list, and here return, okay, stream dot off. Okay, stream dot off, stream dot off. Okay, here new employee of. Okay, employee id is 100. Okay, employee name is ram, employee salary is 8978. Okay, simply I am just giving some information, and after that, like this few employees I am preparing. New employee, okay, 103, okay, Venkat 789598. Okay, new employee, okay, something like 278. Okay, something like Channa, okay, 6756. new employee, new employee. Here 9:53 John, okay, 9870, like this. I am just giving some information, and after that, okay, what we have to do is collect of collectors dot to list. That's it, right? Let me save this, control S, which matched with this list itself. So this is the method I am defining inside the, this is the information I am preparing this particular data itself. Once it is done, okay, once it is done, go to the main application, Spring Boot, okay, AWS Lambda application. Here only I am going to like what, prepare the, okay, information, I mean different endpoint URLs by defining the methods, and each and every method must be annotated with @bean. So sir, definitely this main application requires that particular employee repository itself. So that is the reason I am auto wiring itself, employee repository, okay, employee repository, okay. So this one I am auto wiring auto wire. Let me save this. Okay, now once it is done, I am going to like what, define the one function. First I want to like what, get all the employees itself. If that is the case, I am defining one method, supplier of public supplier of list of employee. Okay, so here employees, simply I am defining the function name as what, employees. Control Shift O is for importing the java.util.list. See what we have to like what, return, tell me here the return type you mentioned, supplier of list of employees. So accordingly, since the supplier is the functional interface, this I can annotate it with inside the supplier interface. We will see what kind of method is there. That method we can replace with the lambda expression itself. Come on, I think a get method is there inside that. Get is only the abstract method is available inside the supplier, single abstract methods. Okay, if it is not coming, not a problem. Yeah, we got stuck there. Just wait. This is some kind of scenario where I am preparing the string cloud function, and once after it is done, you prepare the jar file and then upload into the AWS Lambda, and there you try to like what, execute. Whenever you execute the function, then only it will, you need to pay. The moment, I mean, you no need to like what, pay until unless you are not executing the function. Just by hosting your application into your AWS Lambda, we no need to like what, pay any single rupee also. So whenever somebody is using for that particular computing time only, you have to like what, pay. Okay, inside it is not that open declaration. Okay, inside this interface we have a get method. That particular get method we are trying to like what, replace with the lambda expression. It is not expecting any input, only it is giving you the return type. So that means inside this parenthesis it is, we no need to pass anything. And what it is returning, tell me, list of employees. So using this particular reference variable, okay, employee repository, control C, okay, control V dot, okay, which method you have to call, get employees. So when you are calling the get employees, it will automatically give you the, okay, it will automatically give you the list of employees itself. That's it, right? Save it. So this particular method must be annotated with what, @bean. So one function is ready, one function is like this. Try to like what, define multiple functions itself. Okay, try to like what, define. Shall I define one more function? For example, I want to like what, get the employees based on the name itself, based on the name itself, or else, so in that way, okay, based on the name itself. So if that is the case, how can you do this? Very simple, right? So that means public function, we have to like what, pass we have to like what, pass some input also. So input is a string type, okay, output is a something like, list of orders, list of orders. Okay, now the method name is anything, find, okay, employee by name itself, find employee by name. So like this I am defining. So inside the function, if you are observing, what is the method we have, tell me? I think one method is there, identity, it is not that. Yeah, apply is there. So this apply method we have to override with the lambda expression itself. Definitely it is expecting some input return, and inside this take any variable. Okay, and here again employee repository control C, okay, control V dot get employees. On top of this it will give you the list of employees. On top of this you can call the stream method. So once you will get the stream method, yeah, once you will get the stream method, it will give you the stream object. On top of the stream object, okay, we are going to like what, filter. So filter is expecting the predicate. Predicate is something like, you know, where you can pass the boolean condition. So inside the I mean filter, what we are doing, something like okay, for example employee emp, okay, take a input filter inside the predicate. Also I'll show you what kind of method is there inside the predicate. Filter method is expecting the predicate, and that predicate is a functional interface, and that I can replace with my lambda expression itself. It is also expecting an object, and what you need, emp dot get name, okay, dot equals whatever the name you are passing. If it is matched with that particular employee list we want, so that is the meaning. So after that I am just collecting all those such kind of list, collectors dot to list. Yeah, this is a Java 8 code, sir. Okay, don't get confused. Here the code which I am writing, okay, why the error is coming. Yeah, it is matched with, okay, sorry, it is employee, list of employee. Yeah, the error is gone. So see here, yeah, this method is also must be annotated with at the rate of bean itself. Okay, so that means we are retrieving the list of employees, and on top of that we are calling the stream, so that it will give you the stream object, and what you are passing, employee name. So that particular employee name, if it is matched with I mean in the particular database, whatever the employee name you are passing, if that is matched, those employees list only we are getting. That is the meaning of this particular method itself. Okay, so once it is done, okay, so I am ready with this. So now once it is done, I wanted to like what, run locally. First I wanted to like what, check locally whether it is working or not. So to do that, let me click on the run as Spring Boot app. Okay, so I already told you, okay, field employee repository required a bean of that could not be found. Okay, okay, might be 1 second, in the employee repository stereotype annotation I am placing. Might be it is not auto wiring, it is saying. Let me run one more time. Yeah, Spring started, okay, here itself. And now what I want to do is, employees is the method name, right? Let me copy this, come back to here. This is another one, right? cd double dot cd Spring Boot AWS Lambda CLS. What is that curl syntax? Yeah, this one is the curl syntax, right? Let me copy this. Okay, localhost 8080, and whatever, what is the method name, tell me. Employees itself, employees. Employees is expecting anything, I mean any input it is expecting, no, right? So then you can remove this, you can remove this. Okay, so now when I am giving the employees, all the employees we are expecting, see here, id 100, name ram, salary 8978, and one more employee object, Channa, okay, John, all these are the coming itself. So in the same manner, one more I wanted to like what, minus d, for example, okay, Venkat or else, okay, for example Ram I am passing. If I am passing Ram only, okay, it is also giving me the entire stuff, huh? Okay, 1 second. Okay, that means we supposed to like what, change the method name also. What is the method name? What is the method name, tell me. Find employee by name itself, find employee by name. So come back to here, find employee by name. hyphen d and then giving the ram itself. See here only ram, it is ram object only it is coming. So if I am passing Venkat, only Venkat object. If I am passing Channa, so based on your employee name, it is filtering and accordingly we are getting that corresponding object itself. So perfectly it is running in the local itself. So now this I wanted to like what deploy into AWS Lambda. So if you want to deploy this into AWS Lambda, what we have to do is first close this application running and try to like what prepare the in the form.xml file I gave final name as Spring Boot AWS Lambda. Try to prepare the what we call jar file itself. Okay, because I supposed to like what upload the jar file into AWS Lambda itself. To do this, right click here. Okay, run as maven build with 3 dots, clean install, skip the tests, apply and then run. Okay, right now we don't require any test class related, that is why I am just skipping that. Okay, it is just taking some time. So once build got success, that means this jar file, see here Spring Boot AWS Lambda.jar and Spring Boot AWS Lambda snapshot AWS.jar, two jar files are going to be generated under target folder itself. If you want to see, okay, try to like what right click on the project and then refresh, open the target and you can see all these jars itself. Okay, done. So once you done with the project, what you have to do is go to the your AWS account. Let me go to the AWS account. Okay, sign into the console. Okay, you can log in. Okay, now we have lot of services are there. Here you can type the Lambda service. Click on the Lambda service. Okay, so do we have any functions right now? We don't have any function. Okay, create function, author from scratch, use a blueprint, container image. I am giving author from scratch only, Java Jungle. Okay, Java Jungle. Okay, here runtime Java 17, other supported also there. If I click on this, okay, so Java 8 and Amazon, here I am using Java 8 only, so that's why I am just choosing the Java 8 itself. Okay, permissions and nothing you don't create, you just click on the create function. So once function gets created, I mean right now your AWS, since I am uploading my Spring Boot application, okay, in a serverless manner, definitely I am taking this AWS Lambda helper, okay, so that it will take care of the server provisioning and all this stuff. Okay, so Java Jungle is ready now. Now the Lambda is ready. I mean the function is ready. Okay, but this Lambda, if you are observing in the code, runtime settings is there. Okay, so here you need to like what click on this. It is expecting the handler class. So when you are working with this AWS Lambda, okay, when you are working with this AWS Lambda, it is always expecting the handler class itself. So that is the input, okay, for the Lambda itself. So you may ask one question, sir, how we can prepare that particular handler class? So it is very simple. So come back to, okay, come back to like what your AWS, I mean your what is that, your Eclipse. Okay, what we have to do is anywhere you can, what I am doing under com.example only, new, define the class employee handler. Okay, this is the handler class and it should be extending from Spring Boot request handler. Okay, Spring Boot request handler, and here since I am passing input as the string and output is a object type, you can mention employee here for now, but in future you can mention object and object also. It depends on your requirement, you can specify, but as per my requirement I am passing employee name as the input and I am getting the employee object. Instead of employee object I am specifying object. You can specify employee also, but if you don't know what kind of object you are getting as a response, that time you can mention object. So 99% we knew what kind of input you are passing, but if you are not aware what kind of object you are getting, to receive any kind of object, you better to mention object as the target type itself. Click on the finish. So once it is done, okay, so this employee handler class you need to like what specify while you are creating the AWS Lambda function. So what is the fully qualified name of this handler class? Com.example. Okay, what is that class name? Employee handler, right? employee handler, that's it. So that you have to like what configure under runtime settings. Click on the save. Okay, so under runtime, under code tab only, runtime settings, I am just changing this employee handler. But once you made these changes, you did not create the updated jar. So you better to like what updated jar, because I am adding this. Clean install, click on the apply and then run. So then once you do this, the updated jar is going to be created while you are uploading this jar. So then you will get this along with this handler class also. Okay, if you are observing, yeah, build got success. Okay, let me try to like what refresh so that the jar file is available, latest jar file. So now what I have to do is come back to like what here, runtime settings is fine. Okay, so under config, okay, under code only, here you see right side upload from. So click on the zip, click on the upload. Okay, but here major point is, okay, Spring Boot AWS Lambda, Spring Boot AWS Lambda hyphen AWS jar. Two jars are there. For example, what happened if you are choosing the first jar? Okay, why, you may ask one question, why two jars are going to be generated? Because you already added few plugins here. You see plugins, this Maven shade plugin, this plugin thin layout, these plugins you added. That is why that AWS related jar also going to be generated. Okay, anyhow, that is the reason behind that. But right now I am adding this normal AWS lambda.jar. Click on the save. Okay, now finish. Okay, once you upload the under code tab, you change that handler, you configure that handler class, and you uploaded that jar. Now go to the test. Now go to the test. Here test event is there, create new event. And what I wanted to test here, I wanted to like what test this employees, which will give you get of get all employees. Okay, so employees, any name you can give here while you are configuring. For example, get employees. So this is the event name I am giving. Here it is not expecting anything, that is the reason delete this and give double quotes, empty quotes. Okay, so get employees is the event name, and click on the test itself. Execution function failed. What is this? See here, error loading class count.example.employee handler. Why? Because you I mean definitely you are getting this kind of error. Okay, if you are not aware of that, even how many number of times you are doing this kind of error only, because I already configured my handler class inside here under runtime settings, but still it was saying that was not found. So what is the problem is, you have to like what upload the, okay, the second jar. This is not one hyphen AWS jar file, you have to like what upload. That is the problem itself. Okay, so I did much R&D, so finally I got this. Okay, so once I uploaded this hyphen AWS related jar, then your AWS Lambda is in a position to like what detect that handler class, and accordingly it will be executed. Okay, now I uploaded that particular AWS jar only, and now go to the test. Okay, and already any events are there. Okay, create event. If I click on, okay, get employees is my event name. Okay, that's it, right? Is my event name. So click on the test itself. Now execution started. Okay, what is this? Started 5 seconds. One second, one second. Okay. No function defined java.lang. Illegal state exception. We are getting some error. Why this error we are getting? One second. Okay. No function defined. Okay. All right. Come back to like what test once again. Come back to like what test once again. Okay. Okay, before you are testing, what we have to do is, okay, I forgot to like what tell you one thing. This is my function. Okay, up to now it's clear, right? So why we are getting the error, I will tell you. Why we are getting the error, I'll tell you. So under runtime settings, layers, all this is fine, right? And go to the configuration section. Okay, under environment variable, click on the edit. Okay, add edit environment. Okay, add environment variable here. Function underscore name. What is the function name? You want to check which function? Okay, employees, right? So this function name you have to like what, give it here. Okay, come back to like what, employees. Is the value, do we need to like what, give like that? Okay, let me cross check. Okay, click on the save, click on the save. Now go to the test, and here nothing, we no need to like what, give any input for that particular function. Event name is uh, get employees data, any event name you can give. And now click on the test itself, and execution function started 3 seconds ago. Function execution in progress. Usually it won't take much time. Okay, no function defined. That means I think I supposed to like what, change. We no need to like what, give that method name as a method. Only we have to like what, give the method name. Go to the test. Click on the test. Yeah, you see, so when I executed this, see here, I am getting 100 ram 89 103, all this data channa and all this. So perfectly I am able to like what, test my function, and this service is given, I mean this data we are getting from the AWS Lambda itself. Okay, whenever I am executing for that particular execution only, we need to like what, pay the amount. Okay, until unless you are not executing that function, you no need to like what, pay single rupee of amount also. Okay, so for example now I wanted to like what, cross check this one also. So to do this, let me copy. Okay, to check this function, what I have to do is go to here environment variables, edit, and instead of this employee, control V I am giving, find employee by name. Now save it. Okay, now go to the test. Right now my method name is find employee by name. Go to the test, and here find employee by name I am giving, and here keep like that, this is optional. And definitely we have to like what, pass the input itself. What is that input, tell me. Here whatever, for example ram I am giving, so this is my input itself, this is the employee name itself. Okay, so now when I click on the tester, so definitely this time we are getting only ram employee object itself. Okay, so we'll see. Function execution in progress. Yeah, you see, ID 100, name ram, salary, only one employee object we are getting itself. So based on the input which we are giving, and you can see the log output also. Okay, based on the input which we are, for example if I am passing Venkat. Okay, and again if you want to test it, and definitely it will give you the Venkat related object like this. Based on the input which you are passing, accordingly we are getting the output itself. So in this way we can integrate a Spring Boot application, especially this is a serverless architecture using AWS Lambda itself. So I hope you all understood. So please try to like what, practice. Okay, so nowadays this uh, serverless architecture applications are scaling more and more popularity in the market itself. So that's why try to like what, have a get an idea on top of the applications. Okay, so yeah, you can do the same thing, not only AWS Lambda, you can go to the Google Cloud Function, you can go to the Azure, any take any I mean cloud related service, and accordingly you are able to upload. Might be the way we are configuring is going to be different, but ultimately this is the major goal itself. Okay, Alright, sir. I hope you understand. If any doubts, I'll try to upload the same code in the Git along with the pom.xml file. You can cross check and then accordingly you practice it. If any errors you are getting, please try to post your doubts in the comment section. Okay. So if you like the video, like it and share it to the needy people. Subscribe my channel. Thank you. We'll meet with another concept in my next video. Okay. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye.